Okay, in this tutorial we're going to make a Father's Day collage. I made quite a few of them, but I'll just show you how to do a couple different designs. First we want to go to, in your Canva, create a design. And I'm just going to do this as a 20 by 16, which is a good size for a nice wall print for Father's Day. Alright, so once we have our canvas open, and basically you can go through templates if you want to, but we're just going to do this all from scratch. So first thing we want to do is to add some guides. Okay, this will make life a whole lot easier. So if we go to File, go to View Settings, and then we're going to click Add Guides. Alright, so there's a couple up here already. There's a 3x3 grid. If we do that, you see that the guides are there, but there's some spacing in between. We don't want that, so we're just going to go ahead and go to Custom. Okay, so we're going to go and put 3 columns. I don't want any gap. Okay, so 0 gap, and then the margin I'm going to put 0.125 inches. Okay, and then the same for this one. 3 rows, 0 gap, 0.125 inches. And then we're going to hit Add Guides. We need to hit IN for inch. Is it not working? Okay, alright, so now we have our guides. And that 0.125 is just in case when you print, a lot of times they'll have like a little bleed area. Okay, so we just want to make sure that we don't put any elements in or outside of this area that we have, right? Okay, so now we want to we're going to add 3 little grids or frames for our photos here, and then in the middle we're going to add some text. Okay, so first things first, let's go into Elements. You can go scroll down and see where you have your grids here. We can go to See All. Now, the reason we use a grid is because we can resize these to however we want. So you can make them the perfect size, and we're just going to snap it, and it'll kind of snap into place to the guides, right? And then we'll just hit Duplicate. We'll put this one here. Make sure it's snapped. Okay, so now there is no duplicate. I don't know where it went to. So if you just hold down Alt or Option and drag, it'll make a copy of it. Okay, so now we're going to select them all. So we'll click your first one, hold down Shift, click all of these, and then we're going to hold down Alt or Option if you're on a Mac and drag it down. So now we have our 6 photo frames basically. So you would want to upload your images. Okay, so if you just click on Uploads and then click Upload Files, and you can drag in whatever images you're going to use. Okay, so I'm not going to do that step. I'm just going to use some photos from here. We'll just I can just do recently used. Okay, so pretty simple. You're just going to drag and drop your images into those grids, and just like that, you're going to have your 6 photos already. Now, if you want to make adjustments to the photos, you double click on it. Okay, so you double click on it, and then you have this. You can make it bigger if you want it, and then just click Done. So that one's that. We can double click on this one. Maybe we want to rotate it. However you want your images to be, just double click on it, and then you can edit it. Okay. All right. We could have also made those grids a little bit smaller to have some breathing room in between, but that's okay. We can do that on the next page. So now we want to add our text. Okay, so if we add text, we can just go to Add a Heading. We'll hit backspace and just type out Dad. Alright, so this is going to be Dad. We'll make it larger so it fits in here like so. Okay, so this is where I would rather do this in Photoshop because we can do it a little bit better, but this will work. Okay, so we want to cut, actually let's make this a little bit bigger. Let's just make it big like this, and then we'll drag it to the center. See how all the lines are purple and solid, so this is directly in the center of the document. Alright, might need to go up a little bit. Alright, that looks good. Now, to cut this out, the only kind of workaround to do this in Canva is to add a rectangle. Alright, so we're just going to go and add a rectangle in your lines and shapes. You can just click on this rectangle here, and we're just going to spread it out like so, and then grab this like so. So it's kind of in the center of Dad. Alright. But we want to make sure that this is on top of everything. It is here, but if it wasn't, go to position and then just click on to front or forward till it's on top of everything. Now we're going to change the color to white. Okay, so now it's cut out. All right, so the only bad thing about this is, say you change your background color to this color here. You would have to change this also, which is no big deal. You can just click on that same color and it looks like it's cut out, right? Okay, let's Control Z or Command Z to back out because I want to leave it white. Okay, so next one's up. We want to just add some more text, and we'll use this for, we can just hit add a heading. We'll just add some names. So we'll just say Jason, and then we want to find like a script font. Now there, I have the Pro version, but if you don't, there are a ton of nice looking script type fonts that work good. You can just type in here script if you want, and it'll bring up some, it says cursive, but anyways, this one here, this eyesore, I like using this one a lot also. So we can just kind of put this over here, maybe make it a little bit smaller. We'll put this right there, and then let's go ahead and let's duplicate this, and this will be for our other name. We can put it in here. Now if you move it around, you kind of see these grid lines are showing up. And we'll just say the other kid's name is Emma. Alright, so we have that, and then we want to just add a heart. We can go to Elements, search Elements, type in heart, add a shape, and we'll put this in the middle. I mean, you could leave it like that. That actually looks kind of good like this. And then maybe change the color to a red, whatever. Can do it like that. We can make a copy, duplicate, and then just make this one smaller, and then just kind of drag it over to here. Duplicate this one, drag it over to here, and now you have your design number 1. We could just say this is our design. Now if we want to make some changes to have another variation of this, we can just duplicate the page. So if we duplicate the page, we'll come down to here, and then maybe we'll make this one smaller and put it in like so. And then we can put maybe some flourishes, so curvy line maybe. On curvy line, and let's see, this is on graphics. Let's see here, maybe something like this. We can kind of make it smaller. Put it in like so, maybe rotate it a little bit, like so. We'll duplicate it, drag it over, and then if you do flip horizontal, sometimes it doesn't work how you expect it would. So you can just kind of tweak it out like so, and then we're going to drag it down a little bit so it looks more cohesive, like so. And then we want to change these colors to that. You can change it to red. Maybe we'll move this over a little bit like so. If you go into position, I like to work in my layers. It's a little easier. We can click on this one, hold down Control or Command, click that one. That will select them both. You can put them in a group if you wanted to do that. Okay, ungroup. Let's change the color of this, so we can just go ahead and click our document color. That's red. We'll do the same thing with this to red. Okay, so that's just another variation of it. You can just keep on going through. Let's make these frames a little bit smaller. Let's go ahead and duplicate the page, so we have 3 designs now. And if we just take this and hold down Alt and Shift at the same time, kind of want to make it exactly the same as the other ones. Let me just do this like so. Just do all 6 photos. And now you have your, I think I moved it down a little bit, but that's alright. Alright. So then you have this variation. Alright. Okay, so that is pretty much it on those. So you have just like really quickly 3 different designs. Now, to export these out, to save them, if you hit share, now we made this a 20" by 16, but when you download these, it's only a 2000 by 1600, which isn't, if you try to print them 20 by 16, I really don't think it's going to print that good. So this is where the Pro account comes in handy, so we can just do our size and bring it up to 3 times. Because we know at 300 DPI, 6000 by 4800 is what we're looking for. Okay, and then we can hit download all pages, or you can uncheck that and say we want the first design only, or the second design only, whatever, and then you would just click done, and it would download it. Alright, so that is those designs. Now let's say we want to do something else. Let's go ahead and add a page. Now this time we still have our grids and everything out. Let's do something a little bit with some wood. Alright, so the wood backgrounds are pretty cool looking. We'd go ahead and hit wood. And I've used some here already, but most of these are free versions. So we're going to go ahead and maybe we'll do this one. Right click, set image as background. So now we have this as a background, and then let's go into this one here, and we can kind of put it on this first square. Okay, like so, and then maybe we'll make it a little bit smaller, or maybe not. Let's just keep it at the whole size of that. Let's go ahead and duplicate this one, and we'll put this one in the bottom. And then let's grab something a little bit lighter for the middle. And this is all your choice. You don't have to do it how I'm doing it. I'm just showing you how. Alright, so those are our 3 little guys here. And it's on this wood background here, but the only thing is these are going to be too small. When it prints, it may not show the outline. So we can make everything smaller once we're done. We'll just shrink everything down at once. Okay, let's add some, we can add grids or frames here. And I'll just show you if you try to add a frame. So if we add a frame, if we go into our frames and hit the square, let's type in square. And then the square frames will come up, but the only thing is, if you see how you can't make it fit right, because you can't crop it, it won't let you crop. Okay, so that's why we just use the grids. So the grids are a lot easier to work with, because you can size them exactly how you want. So we're just going to line it up. We'll duplicate this one. And then the duplicate went away. I don't know why it does that. Right click, we can hit copy, paste. You can do it that way, but it doesn't do it exactly how you think it will. Just hold down Alt and drag is the easiest way. Boom. Alt and drag down here, like so. Alt and drag over, or Option if you're on a Mac, either way. So we have all these 9 things. Let's go ahead and just select them all. So if we go into position, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all 9 squares. If you just click on the top one, hold down Shift, click on the bottom one, it'll select them all, and then we're just going to hold down Alt and Shift so it squares it up, and we'll be right like so. So now that little background will print a little bit. We could add maybe behind this, maybe a maybe a rectangle. Let's do a rectangle, and we'll go ahead and add this shape. And let's make this about the size of the thing, but just a little bit bigger. I don't want it to go out to the guidelines, but we're going to go a little bit bigger like so. And if it snaps, sometimes it'll snap to your guidelines, so what you kind of have to do is just go down a little bit, make it bigger, and then you can do it like this to manipulate it how you want it. Scroll down to the bottom. Maybe we'll kind of go in like so. And we'll see what it looks like. Okay, I think that's pretty close. Okay, so let's go ahead and make this black, and then we'll go to our position, and we can just click and drag it underneath everything, and then maybe just go on our transparency and just make it a little bit darker like that. Okay, so you just have this little outline frame. That's totally optional. I don't necessarily like it, so I'm just going to delete it. So we can go into position. We can just hit our three dots and go on delete. Okay, so we want to add add our 6 photos in here. So we'll just go up to our elements, go to photos, recently used. So I can just use the same ones. We'll just drag them in, drag and drop. It's so easy. It's so easy. Okay, so there's that, and now we want to add some lettering. So DAD is what I want to put in there. So we'll just do add a heading. We'll just hit a capital D. We'll move this up in here and make it bigger. Maybe like about right here. Maybe something like so. And then we'll duplicate this one for the bottom D. And then we'll duplicate it again, put this in the middle, and change this to an A for dad. Now we have our dad text. But maybe we want to do some kind of effects to this. So we'll just click on the D. Let's go into colors. And I don't really like any of these. We could do that one. It doesn't really contrast too much, but let's see if we do effects and do a shadow on it. Let's do some blur. Let's make the shadow black, and let's make our transparency like so. And then we'll have to play around with the direction and the offset and give it this effect here. Okay, I think I'm going to change the color to something in like a bluish color. You can do whatever color you want. Alright, so to do that to the rest of the letters, we can just go here and hit copy style. Click on the A, you see how you have this little paintbrush roller? Boom, you can just do that. Now, it only does it once, so you would have to copy style again, and then your paintbrush roller comes off. And now we have this this thing right here. Now that's a pretty good looking thing. All right, and they don't take very long to do. So that's 4 easy designs really quickly. This one probably needs to come up a little bit. But that's that. So you have all that. Now we could come in here and maybe let's go into position. Actually, I want to keep this, so let's just duplicate it. So duplicate page, so we have this one now. Let's go into position, and I'm going to select everything except for that background wood. So we have all of this, and then I'm going to hold Alt and Shift, and we're just going to make it smaller like so, maybe about like this, and we'll drag it over. Where do we want to put it? Maybe we'll drag it to about here. Does that work? I guess it's going to have to work. And then you could add some other text in here, maybe down here. You could put Happy Father's Day or something like that. Happy Father's Day. Maybe make this about maybe 100. Spread it out like so, and then we'll go to our recently used, this one, like so. And there's no bold on it, but that's okay. So we have that, and then maybe you could do like a little poem over here. So we'll do add a heading, and then we'll just put poem, verse, enter, and then let's copy this, Control C, Control V, enter, Control V, enter, Control V. I mean, you would just copy a poem. I mean, I guess probably the easiest way would be just go get a poem, and you could just put it over here. Put it over there, and then you can maybe put a heart or something in there too. Kind of so played out with hearts. Let's do heart outline. Maybe grab this one, and we'll just make it a little bit smaller, and we'll move it down here. But the choices are endless. So like this is heart outline. If you go to see all, I mean, there's a bunch of them. We could add these. However you want to do it. And then if you're not a poet like me, not meaning that I'm a poet, I'm not a poet at all, we could ask for some help. So you can go on ChatGPT, or actually you can go on Bard. Let's go on Bard, because everybody uses ChatGPT, and Bard is actually pretty good too. Let's just go to write out a very short, loving Father's Day poem. Enter. And here you have this. To the best dad in the world, happy Father's Day, blah, blah, blah. And we could just come in here and we'll paste. Oops. Let's select it all. Let's select it all. I'm having issues. Select it all, right click, paste. And we have that. We can make it a little bit smaller. Move it up. Maybe we'll stretch it out a little bit. Move it up here, like so, and then we'll get rid of the hearts. So sometimes if you can't click on that element, just go into position and find them over here in your layers, and just click on the three dots, delete, and then we can probably just move this one down, make it a little bit smaller. Or maybe we could just do a heart there and then add, let's duplicate this one, make it smaller, move it over here, and then whatever your name is, we'll just say, today it's Emily. I can't grab that heart, see? That's so weird sometimes. So if you just go to position, find the heart and highlight it, and then you can just move it over like so. I still can't grab it. Sometimes it'll let you, sometimes it won't. So we have Emily and then Control to the heart, so we have them both selected, and we can move them like that. And I think that is pretty cool. So that's another design you can do quickly. And if you want to change the background, you can just basically, I'm going to duplicate this. You don't have to duplicate it, but duplicate, if you want to change your background, maybe we can do, I don't know, like a sunset. Let's see what a beach sunset looks like. Photos. We could grab, I don't know. That looks like a picture I took. I wonder if that is mine. That's weird. Anyways, pick whatever photo you want. It doesn't have to be beach background. Oh, I don't like that. Let's go back. Beach sunset. Let's just grab, just for giggles, this is a pro one, but you would just pick your image and right click, pick your image, right click, replace background, and now you have that background a little bit differently. But maybe it's a little bit too bright. Let me bring our Happy Father's Day down a little bit. Just make sure that everything is inside of those margin guidelines that we put. Okay, because sometimes it won't print out. We could go to position and go to our background. We click on our background and go to transparency. We could change the transparency a little bit, make it a little bit less. But anyways, that's a couple. That's like 6 of them that we did really quickly. They don't take much time to do once you get the hang of it. But just most importantly is make sure you have everything inside the margins, just in case. A lot of printers, when you get this printed, this will have like a white border around it, which is okay for the most part, because when you frame it, it's not going to show. So when you hit share and download, if you have the pro account, you're going to be a lot happier. Just make sure it's 6000 by 4800 when you download it. You can do a PNG or a JPEG, either one. If you go to JPEG, you have this option down here that says quality. Okay, when I do JPEGs, I bring the quality all the way up. I don't want to lose any quality on a print. Okay, so but that's it. But they are, you see that crown? Those are pro features. Okay, so you'll need a pro account to do all that when you export them. I can't vouch for saying if you just print them out 2000 by 1600 and upload them to Walgreens or whatever printer you're using, if they upscale it to where the quality's good, I don't know. I can't tell you that. So I just spend the $13 for a pro subscription, and you'll be a lot happier with the quality. But at any rate, I'm going to go ahead and shut it off for now. Hopefully you like this. If you want to learn more, hit subscribe. I'm going to do as many videos as I can when I have time. And thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.